so for this look I am literally just going to be focusing on the eyes. So as you would have seen in the intro, it's going to be like a very glittery kind of cobalt blue and pinky kind of eye with a nude lip. So first of all, I'm just going to start off by applying my foundation, and I'm using this one by Estee Lauder in the shade 1C1 Cool Bone, and I'm going to be applying that with a damp beauty blender all over my face. And then today we're going to be focusing a lot on the eye makeup, so I'm just going to whiz through this and then come back to you guys. Just starting off by taking this much onto the blender, and I'm just going to stipple this
treetops of this world, a balance, feeling free. I'm a part of this place of birth, and I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally.
What? What's wrong? Oh, baby girl. Oh. I love having a dog around, but the thing is where she's staying and she's not actually our dog. She just wants constant attention. It's like reassurance that everything's all right. And literally, she has not left my side since she came to stay, which is so sweet. But at the same time, I can't take my eyes off of her. I'm even watching her now because she's just missing her owners, I think. But she just loves that red blanket, so she's literally kind of adopted that. So yeah, I've lost that, but she's a sweet girl. Okay, so now I've done my foundation, I'm literally just going to fill in my eyebrows really quick, and it's just going to be the same way that I always do it. So I'm just using these two product brushes to apply with. So I've got my spoolie here, and this is just to brush through the hairs, make sure they're all facing the right way and to make it look neat. And then I've got this angled brush to actually apply the product with, and the product I'm using is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in medium brown, I think it is. So that is just what I'm doing right now, and I always do this. These are the products that I love, so I've kind of stuck to it throughout my videos in this routine. Like, I am up for trying more products out, but when you fall in love with something, it's just kind of something that I go back to a lot, and I'm sure other girls do that as well. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and then we can move on to the eye makeup, and I'll show you guys in detail how I get the look. So I always like to brush through the hairs first, if I remember to, because I just kind of find that it helps set the product more in place, and you know, it's just easier to like find the straighter line of the brow, especially when you're like blending the product into it. It's just easier to like get a neater kind of thing. So that is what I'm doing. So I'm just popping a tiny little bit of this onto the brush like so, and blending it in. And I always like to start just at the straight bit here where it's like easiest to get the grip, and then do the towel afterwards, because sometimes it's like really easy to overdraw, and I always like to go for like the natural look of brow, so I don't want to extend it too much. But I know some people like to extend it more than I do, because I've naturally got quite thick and fluffy brows. But yeah, I just kind of follow what's there really and darken it up rather than extending it as such. But you can do if you've kind of got thinner eyebrows or whatever. But yeah, it's really nice to put on. It's just so easy to do, and it just makes such a difference. So I'm just going to literally fast forward this bit, and I'll show you guys what they look like when they're done.
And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally see.
So now I have filled the brows in, you can just see what a difference it makes to my face, and it's kind of like similar brow colour to my hair colour now, so it just kind of makes my face look a little bit more like, I don't know, just prepped and together, and yeah, I just love how that product looks, so it's just perfect for my hair colour especially. So yeah, I always recommend that product. And now I'm going to be going on to contouring, and while I'm doing that, the product's just going to set and do its thing, and then we'll do eye makeup and come back to that whole thing later on in the video. For the contour, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in light to medium. I literally love this product. I've raved about this product in so many videos. I've used it in so many videos, and it's just because I love the finish it gives me, and I love the fact that you've got the 3 contour shades and then the 3 highlighting shades as well, just to kind of shape and sculpt. I love that. So if you haven't seen my videos before, I always show the product when I can, and this is just what it looks like in here. So you've got your 3 contour colours there, and then your 3 highlighting and sculpting shades there just at the top. And oh. What are you doing? And yeah, so I always like to go for this middle shade because it's the cool tone, it's the lightest, and I always like to use that to sculpt out my cheek. And then if I want to bronze it up a little bit for a more dark look, I will use either or both of the shades, but they're very pigmented, so normally I'll just go for one of the others. But yeah, it kind of just depends on what I'm feeling. So as always, I'm taking my little angled brush, which you can see here, and just taking a little bit of this middle shade and popping that in the hollows of my cheeks to kind of set the shape, and then we'll go on to sculpt. I'm taking the slightly lighter shade, but it is much warmer than the first shade, and this one is called Havana. So the first one I used was Java and Havana, so they're the 2 that I'm using in today's video. As you can see, they're both looking a little bit dark, so I'm going to take my kabuki brush, which is so good for blending out, you guys. So I'm just going to take this. It's super fluffy, gets right in there and buffs it in and just makes it look a little bit more natural and shadowy rather than so caked on. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go for today. So I'm just giving it a light dust and for a few seconds, and it will just make it look so much more lighter and more natural. And now I'm just going to contour my nose quickly as well, because where I've done that and it's quite warm, I just kind of feel like it needs to be brought together. So I am going to apply a little bit of that lightest shade as well from the middle of the Anastasia palette, and that was just this middle shade here, which is shade Fawn, and I love it for the nose. I always use this to contour my nose because the others are a little bit too dark. So I'm just applying that with this brush, and yeah, that's pretty much how I shape the face. But you could also do it under the jawline as well if you wanted to, and up by the forehead, but I don't really do that often. So yeah, I'm just gonna literally do this, and yeah. Doing that has just created a really light, but it looks like a natural shadow just going down my nose. You can see it's lighter and kind of more whiter down my nose, and it just appears to make the bridge of it look a little bit thinner. So that's kind of why I do that. But yeah, I just kind of like how it works, and little is always more with that product because a little goes a really long way, and you don't want it to look too dark and then it just looks really unnatural, and it's obvious that you try to kind of touch up and it's gone a little bit too much. So yeah, that's just what I like to do. And I think I'm going to leave the contouring and all that there, and I'm going to go on and just do a little bit of highlighting on my cheekbones and down my nose with the Mary Lou Manizer by The Balm. And I love this one, it's so pigmented. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So to apply this to my nose, I always like to use quite a small brush because I don't want it going everywhere all over the contour. So I do tend to use a really small thin brush. So today I'm literally just going to be using this flat brush there. So yeah, I'm just going to do this down my nose and then a little bit on my cheeks as well.
Floating away with you in the backseat of my car. We're timeless, sailing through.
Yeah, we're going for the glow today, so that is how much I'm using, and then just taking a little bit on here and doing that just above the cheekbones as well. On it. Oh, I just want to apologise if it's like really distracting what's going on outside. It's such like a horrible day. It's so windy and you can hear it really badly against here. We actually had a tree fall outside our house earlier, so it's really, really bad. But I just wanted to apologise if that's distracting at all throughout the video, and yeah, just try and bear with me. But this is the palette that I'm using for today's video, and most of the colours I am going to be using are from this palette. And I think I'm going to be alternating between this one. So this is the Morphe 35K Colour Coffee palette. And I'm going to be getting all my rich tones from here. And then I'm going to be getting all of my sparkly and kind of more pigmented tones from this palette. And this is the Naked Smoky palette. So I'm going to be using this for the darker tones, just to kind of make the look pop a little bit more after we've got our base colours on. So that is just what that looks like inside that palette. So yeah, I'm going to be starting off, like I said, with the 35K. It's quite a bright look, so I'm going to be starting off by using quite a dark burnt orange kind of shade. So I'm going to want to take a flat brush to do this, because this is going on the eyelid. And I'm feeling like this one here, because it's quite a dark kind of orangey tone. So I'm going to take this one, I think, and start off with that. And I'm completely improvising this look. So yeah.
I know we can't go far, and I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally breathe. And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally see.
Once I've kind of got that colour on the lid, I've literally just gone halfway, as you can see, and I know it looks really, really weird now, but I am going to blend this out. So this is the Morphe M330 Eye Crease Blending Brush, and this is my absolute favourite for blending out like close knit shadow like this. So I like to just get right in there with this, and I'm literally just dragging it up a little bit above the eye crease and also just along the lid as well, so it's not too harsh, but I don't want to be like too rough with it because we are adding more colour, and the whole point of this look is to be able to tell where one colour starts and where another finishes. So I'm literally just doing it to get rid of harsh lines and not to actually blend out the colour too much. And then I'm going to be taking this really rich and orangey kind of colour with the small brush again. So I'm just packing that on there, and it's quite light compared to the other shade, but I'm just going to be popping that inside my eye crease, and then I'm going to blend it out with that same other brush again. And then we're going to make it look, oh my god, we're going to make it look even crazier and add a tiny little bit of brown. So I'm going to blend this out and then add a little bit of brown using this brush. So now for the look, I'm going to be adding that brown that I told you guys about. So I love this shade of brown. This is from the Naked Smoky palette. So this is the shade Whiskey, which you can see just here. So I'm adding the tiniest little bit on there and then just popping that in my eye crease to kind of darken and deepen the whole thing up a little bit. And this look is just about the whole thing popping really, and just the eyes and everything. So yeah, I'm just going for it. And it's kind of festival like as well, so yeah. So now it's for my favourite bit, is where we're going to start adding the bluey colours. So I'm going to take a mix of colours. So first of all, I'm going to take this really light powdery blue here and mix it with this one above it. And just pop that on the other half of the eye. So I'll show you what I mean, but just make sure you've got loads and loads of colour on there. And this is going to be for like the inner part of the eye. So it's going to be really quite bright. And then I'm just taking this colour again just to blend out the top so it's not too harsh, and on the lid as well. And as you can see, I've kind of added a little bit of colour into the tear duct as well. And if you've got any fallout, you can just brush that away like so. And if you find that your product isn't sticking, I always like to use a face primer, or you can use a lock-in spray and just pop a little bit of that on your brush. And then the product will stick on there. So I'll link all of the products that I use down below in case you want to check any of those out. But you can see how much more now is on my brush now that I've put that spray on there. So that should kind of help things move along a bit.
Silence calls to me from the treetops of this world.
And now that I've got that blue on there, I just wanted to darken it up a little bit more. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add one of these blues, which are in the Smoky palette. So I think this one's called Dagger, that really dark one there. So I'm going to add that on top and mix it with the sparkly shade.
A balance, feeling free. I'm a part of this place of birth. And I know it cannot last, but at last I can find.
Once you're happy with the amount you've got on there, you can just blend that out all together. And I realise it's looking like a bit of a state at the moment, but it won't be when it's all done, I promise. And then I'm going to go ahead and put Whiskey back in the eye crease again, just to make the whole thing a little bit more together.
And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally see.
So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Then I'm just going back in with that first shade that we used, which is the really dark orange shade, and that is just going to be on the outskirts of the eyelid, just because I feel like since blending everything together it's kind of been lost a little bit. So I'm just popping that back on now and doing the same thing on the other side. It's just like the outside wing of the eye, and then taking this downwards. I don't want to blend it too much because the same thing will kind of happen again, so I'm just kind of like padding this out a little bit until we have something looking a little bit more like that. And then I am going to take this and just blend out on top, because I'm not happy with that side. It doesn't seem to like be blending out as well. But there's always a side that I have that goes better than the other side, so today this is my worst side. Under the eyes, I'm just taking this really light shade from the Smoky palette called Combust, and this is the shade right there. So that is the one that I'm using. So I'm just going to literally pop this on with my brush that I've got here with me now and see how that goes. I think it might be a bit better to use the brush that actually comes with the palette. So I'm going to take this brush that comes with the palette and just pop Combust under there. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Slanted from the Naked Smoky palette, and that's just that really light blue which you can see there, and I'm just going to pop that on with the thicker side of this brush that comes with the palette. So I'm just going to pop that on and put that towards the front of the eye. Decided that it might be a good idea to add a bit of brown underneath as well, so I'm going to take that really small stubby end again and add a coppery shade from the Morphe palette, which is this really gorgeous rich shade right here where my thumb is, and I'm just adding that with the stubby brush. So that's going to bring the whole thing together a little bit more, and I'm focusing this on the outskirts of the eye. Then for my tear ducts, I'm going to add the shade High from the Naked Smoky palette, and I'm going to go back in with that cobalt blue from the Morphe palette. So I'm literally just combining the two and putting that in the duct. And as you can see, it just brightens the inner corner of the eye up a little bit. And I think now I'm going to go back and take the Luminizer by the Balm and just do it under my brows as well, just to make the whole thing kind of pop together. And it does look a little bit like everywhere now, but when you've got your mascara on and everything, it's all good. So that is what I'm going to go and do, and I'll be right back. So now I'm just taking that Luminizer again, which I used earlier. It's just this little one here, and I'm just popping that above the brow. So I'm going to need a smaller brush to apply that. So I'm just going to take this little one, as you can see here when it wants to focus. There we go. And just popping that under the brow. Just taking this little blending brush again and just buffing this all the way over, just to make sure nothing looks harsh and everything is as I want it, basically. So yeah, I'd say I'm pretty happy with how that's come out. So now I'm going to move on to mascara. So I've just turned my light on because it was getting a bit dim, and I probably should have put that on in the first place, but so now I'm moving on to my favourite bit, which is mascara. So I'm using the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Bold Volume Lifting Mascara by Estee Lauder. And I'm just popping that all over my lashes, and then I'm going to curl them. I'm so annoyed that I didn't put that on first of all. It's such a dim day as well. Probably could have done with it, but there we go. So yeah, popping this on, and I'll fast forward this bit for you guys, and then we can move on to curling the lashes, and that's pretty much it apart from the lips. So yeah.
I'm feeling like love tonight. There's no stopping what I feel inside. Throw your cares away, 'cause baby I am here to stay. I'm feeling like love tonight.
lashes are done, so I'm going to let them dry off a little bit before I curl them because I don't want it sticking and like clumping together too much. So I'm going to wait a minute before I do that, and then I'll go and curl the lashes. So while I'm waiting for those to dry off, I'm going to do my lips like I like to do while I'm waiting. And so for today's lips, I am going for a nude kind of vibe. So I'm going to be using the matte lipstick by MAC Cosmetics, and this one is in the shade Honey Love, and this is just the perfect, gorgeous, simple, everyday nude. I'm putting this over the lips, and then on top of that, I'm going to be using this kind of a gloss by L'Oreal Paris. It has a special name. I think it's the... I can't remember the name of this one. It has quite a long name to it, but it is by L'Oreal Paris, and it's in the shade 601 Nude Ballet, and it's just a little liquid lipstick. And yeah, that's just what it looks like. One of you guys will probably tell me in the comments what it's called. I do know it, but I can't remember it. I'll put it all in the description box below anyway for you guys, because these are still available. So that's a gloss to top over this one. What the first one looks like on its own, and then I'm just going to go ahead and top it with this gloss like I mentioned earlier. And I love this gloss. It's just so shiny, and it just makes it look so much different. And I'm all about the gloss life again lately. Like, I was going back through a phase where I just wanted to wear matte lipsticks, and now I'm kind of getting back into that kind of shimmer and glossy look. So yeah, I'm all about this right now. And the colour match between these two products as well is like really good. I actually love how these are pretty much the same colour. So if you are looking for a good dupe for the Honey Love, I know it's not the same finish on the lips, but if you are looking for that kind of colour but you don't want to break the bank, I would definitely check out this L'Oreal lipstick, and I'll leave that down below. I think it might have been called L'Extraordinaire or something like that, so I'll link everything down below. I'll definitely be able to find it for you guys, and I hope that you check it out. So now I've done that, I am going to go on and curl the lashes like I said. So I'm literally just going to do that, and then that's the makeup look all done.
Away with you in the backseat of my car. We're timeless, sailing through, but tonight, no, we can't go far.
So this is what the makeup's looking like now it's all done, and I really love it. It's just kind of like a cobalt blue / orange toned look. It's perfect for festivals. It's festival season right now. They're all going on. Any music concerts, anything like that, parties, anything. It's just perfect with the new lip as well. It just makes it go with so much stuff, especially if you've got blue eyes. It's just the blue, it makes it pop. Before I go, I actually wanted to show you guys this t-shirt that I'm wearing, and this one is from Primark, and it's the Disney tee, and it's just a really cool design. So I wanted to show you guys quickly, since I am going to Disney World in Florida this summer holiday, and I was kind of looking for things to wear out there. Like, so I took a lot of dresses and stuff, and my sister actually managed to find this tee in Primark, and she didn't want it, so I kind of took it off her hands for her, and it's just got Ariel on there, but the towel actually alternates colours, so you can have it either as the original green or silver. So I just thought it was perfect to wear out there. It's just going to keep me really nice and cool. So yeah, I just popped it on today with a pair of jeans. So I'm just going to show you guys what the shirt looks like, and also the cool feature about it. And it was only £8 as well. So this is the tee. If I step back, and you can see it's got Ariel all down the front, and then the towel actually changes colour if you move your hand upwards like that. So it's just a really cool way, so you can have her either way. Only £8 as well, and I just thought it was really sweet, so I've just popped it on with my jeans like I said. And this is just what it looks like a little bit further back. So you've got the roll neck on the cuff as well. And yeah, I just thought it was a really pretty design, and I just love it. And it's of course Disney, so you can't really go wrong wearing anything like this out there. So yeah, this is just what it looks like, and I love it. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that in this video, and the makeup goes quite well with the shirt too. So yeah, I absolutely love this look, and I really hope that you guys did enjoy this tutorial. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll have a button at the end of the video for you guys to click on if you did enjoy it, and you can subscribe there, or you can check out the links down below. Check me out on social media and check out my blog as well, because I'm uploading there constantly. So I hope that you guys enjoyed those posts too, and yeah, just connect with me on social media. I'd love to hear from you guys. So thank you so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.